right, let's talk Los Angeles Rams. Look, Rams fans, obviously the season didn't end the way you had hoped. Of course, a heartbreaking loss to the Detroit Lions in the wild card round. But it's important to understand what the Rams are doing and what they have done and what they will continue to do is set themselves up for long-term success in terms of how they set up the organization of the entire franchise and the success they have developing and growing and recruiting talent not just for the players on the field, but through the coaching staff as well. The Rams are one of the great areas for a lot of young, talented coaches to come into and then move on from there. Having those great young assistants have given the Rams a big advantage. And Les Snead, the general manager of Los Angeles Rams, really made a really smart move that I think will help continuing that trend. Let's pull up the report, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. This is according to ESPN. Rams general manager Les Snead began his offseason news conference with an totally unprompted endorsement of defensive coordinator Raheem Morris, who is interviewing for several head coach openings. I have never heard that before, by the way. I've never heard a general manager literally endorse one of his assistant coaches to be a head coach for a competitor. Never happened before. Morris, who has been the Rams defensive coordinator for the past 3 seasons, has been a head coach twice before with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from 2009 to 2011 and as the Atlanta Falcons interim coach in 2020. Before he took questions Friday, Snead said he wanted to talk about Morris because I know he's interviewing for just about every head coaching job in the NFL right now. Number one, I think we all know he's a great human being. Snead said the guy is coded to respect everyone, to build a relationship with everyone, no matter where you're at in the organization. What's awesome is as he does that, you just see the respect flow back in his direction. He's coded for that. It's a superpower that I think would help any organization. All right, there's this belief in the NFL circles right now that the Rams, one of the strengths of their team is that they can bring in young assistant coaches, sometimes veteran assistant coaches, and under Snead and McVay can just learn a lot about football and then go from there and go on and do great things. I almost wonder if that's sort of the inverse of what's going on. I kind of wonder if a lot of these talented coaches across the board know that they can go to the Rams because the Rams will help promote them for career growth even outside of Los Angeles, which again is very bizarre. A lot of teams, famously the Patriots, the Chiefs are kind of like this as well, keep everything enclosed. They really don't do too much to promote their assistants. The Rams are the opposite. They're zigging where everyone else is zagging. I think that's going to help them continue to attract a lot of great young coaching and front office talent. Because again, as much as you got to have great players on the field, you have to have great assistants and great coaching staffs as well. And Les Snead's move here, I think, is an indication that the Rams will continue to have good staffs because of their ability to recruit a lot of great coaching talent. Myers, I'm curious what your thoughts are involving the Rams in this decision by Les Snead. But first, LA fans, look, obviously 2023 season is behind us. There's a lot of good memories, but let's turn our focus to 2024. In the comment section below, give us the one position group that you think the Rams need to upgrade over anybody else. Is it offensive line? Is it defensive line? Is it the secondary safeties? Is it the kicker? I feel like that's going to come up a lot, but whatever it is, in the comment section below, give us the one position you think the Rams should really focus on this offseason. And while you're down there, please consider becoming a member of this channel. It's a great way to support us as we do everything we can to create quality content for you Rams fans and the rest of the NFL sphere. Check the link in the description box below for more information. But Myers, let me throw it over to you now. What are your thoughts on this decision by the Rams and just the direction of this LA franchise right now?
Yeah, Nick, I think you brought up a couple of really great points and some really great examples of teams who do things the wrong way, or at least a way that isn't as good as the Rams are doing it. You brought up the Chiefs, most notably, kind of guarding their guys. You look at some of their people that go off. You see Matt Nagy go off, not have a whole lot of success. You see a guy like Eric Bieniemy go off, not necessarily having a lot of success. Then you look at the Patriots, most notably, I can point out numerous, examples there. Josh McDaniels, Matt Patricia, even to a certain extent, Bill O'Brien really hasn't gone off to have, a ton of success as a head coach on his own. And that is because I feel like these people trap their coordinators in there. Don't want them to grow, don't want them to go on and leave the organization to be more successful, which I think in turn will hurt them in the future as far as that aspect goes. But the Rams, on the other hand, they do things completely opposite. They go out, they promote these young coordinators. You see all of these McVay acolytes go all over the NFL and have so much success. Anyone who has had any kind of, interaction with him in their coaching career seems to be highly sought after, seems to be very successful at what they do. And that is no different than this situation here with Raheem Morris. This is a guy who's very talented. He's done a great job with this defense so far, got a lot of great players on this defense, and he's developed them really well. They're now promoting him, saying, hey, this is a guy that definitely deserves to be a head coach. He deserves to go out and, be a guy in this league. And now you look at the next up and coming college coaches, college coordinators, the highest of the high, the cream of the crop. Where are they going to want to go and start their career? At the Los Angeles Rams, a team that kind of brings in, cultivates, and then lets you go out to greener pastures and maybe one day potentially find your way back at the Rams. That could be, a great aspect of this as well. Just knowing how great of an environment it is. I think it's a really great move by the Rams, and we can see the other teams that are successful. They keep their coordinators, but once they let them go, they're not as successful. And so it kind of, dwindles them a little bit in the future. Like, okay, this guy, he went to the Kansas City Chiefs. He was offensive coordinator. He left. He did not have a great career. Is it Andy Reid? Are the coordinators at the Chiefs, not that great? It's not as enticing as people who go and leave the Rams. So I think it's a great move by the Rams. I think they're going to be very successful with this strategy in the future.
And there's one more element to it that kind of slides under the radar because one of the things Les Snead is very well known for, and the Rams franchise recently is very well known for this as well, is being very active on the trade front, whether it's draft picks or players. They've been one of the better and more active teams in the NFL in terms of trading and making trades. The only way you can make a lot of trades in the NFL is if you have a lot of guys that trust and know you among the other NFL franchises. What better way to get a lot of guys out there that trust and know you than to promote guys who are on your coaching staff or on your front office staff, just like Les Snead is doing here. So again, this is an example of what I call picking up free money, right? It's a no cost thing. It's like a $20 bill on the ground. It costs you nothing to pick it up, and now you got $20. This is exactly what the Rams are doing. It costs Les Snead and the Rams nothing to actively promote their own assistants, and they get just benefit after benefit because they're doing it. I think this is a really smart move by the Rams and another indication that they are one of the best ran, and I think maybe they're top 3 or top 4, certainly, and they have an argument to be number 1 in terms of the most successful franchise in the NFL in terms of how they run their organization and how they set themselves up for success, focusing both on the short and long term.